Welcome to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
So grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to Just Minding My Business Media. We hope you have faced your day with fearlessness and reaped the rewards of doing so. Do you have a message you want to share with the world? Contact us here at jmmbradio@gmail.com. Today we welcome Princess Omon Uanreroro, who identifies as a daughter, a loyal friend, and a fearless lioness. She is an empowerment coach, the CEO of Blessed Billionaire Babe, and has a thriving Mary Kay business. Princess Omon joins us to share with us how to overcome obstacles and not drown in bitterness, how to let go and let God, and how doing the inner work leads to a balanced life. We will also hear about her contribution to the soon-to-be-released anthology, Finally Free. Welcome, Princess Omon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, welcome. We appreciate you coming on, and we want to know how you got started on the road that you're on now.
I started I think my faith led me to where I'm at right now, because it was a struggle and a couple of hurdles, but my faith kept me strong.
Okay. So when you talk about the struggle, what does that look like? What did your struggle look like? Just give us a little snapshot, because we want to definitely identify with struggles, because so many people are going through struggles. And
Yes.
When they hear people that have gone through whatever and they came out on the other side, that's the shining light that they need.
Yes. Yes, so I'm from Nigeria, West Africa, and came into this country quite young. Then I left because of a couple of cultural situation in my country, and I came here. And a few years into it, I got married, and believing that when you get married, that's the end of it, or you just keep thriving, and the babies start coming in. But before I knew what was going on, I became a single mom. Things just went south. I had to figure things out for myself. And, with the fears of my cultural background, as in being a single mom, to feel like something is wrong with you being a single mom. So it was really scary for me to be able to tell my family what I was going through, because there was domestic violence, there was abuse, there was a lot, And so with the rejection and just the abandonment of being a mom to 3 beautiful kids, I had to learn to figure things out. And knowing that I don't have family here, no brother, no sister, no uncle, nothing, it was hard. So, and you can't just trust everybody you meet. But I had a friend who, she always was, pushing me like, don't worry, you get through this, just, keep thriving, just keep going. And finally, one day, my ex-husband, after he hit me, actually, I had a cut on my head, and I was 8 months, 2 weeks pregnant. And after that, I knew that it was time to leave, but I was afraid of how I was going to start, where I was going to just shelter and all that I needed for my kids. And the fear of, he was always telling me, if you make that move, they're going to take the kids from you. You as a mom, you don't want to lose your kids. So all that fear, I just stayed in there hoping that things would change. But little did I know, he filed a divorce and served it to me there. And I knew I had to move on with my life. So that was one of the hurdles I went through. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And that's a lot of women's story.
Yes.
A lot of women's story. You know, we go into the marriage thinking that you're going to live happily ever after. Your husband is going to love you. He's going to take care of you and do the right thing. And sometimes it does not always go that way. Many times it does not always go that way.
That's true.
And having to face that reality, especially with little ones, because they depend on you. They know nothing about the world yet.
Yes.
So I can definitely understand the fears that you must have felt going through that situation. You know, just breaking up from a relationship is difficult. I've been divorced, so I know what that struggle looks like in terms of trying to, am I going to be okay by myself? Am I going to be able to make it? Am I going to be able to pay the bills? All of that.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It was crazy.
All of that. So obviously you're on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulate yourself for getting through.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So now, since you're on the other side, I know you went through a lot in terms of processing what you want to give to the world. So now what does that look like for you?
It looks like freedom. It's freedom for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've always been one person. I always tell people relationship with God is really personal. You know, you have to develop it. You can't just buy it or just think because things are going well, then it's okay. No, you have to have a constant relationship with Him, because what you don't nurture, you can't really cultivate or grow. That's my belief. And so I got into writing little letters. I remember, before the divorce, and when he would tell me stuff like, "You're not good enough," or when I would wake up excited, and I say, "Hey, sweetie, good morning." He was like, "What's good about the money?" So with all that, it was hard, and I always go back to God. I say, "Lord, did you see that? Did you hear that?" So I was constantly talking, but I was talking, but at the same time praying, because I believed God was just right there, just like we're having this conversation. Mm-hmm. So I always talk to Him like that. I barely kneel down to pray. Honestly, I'm like, "Lord, this is what I want to do," or what, I just talk to Him. That's what I do. And I always get this, this, I'll call it download, like, okay, or a message or something, or somebody will come and confirm my situation or whatever. So with my faith, I was able to pull through. It wasn't easy. It was a constant journey. It was a process, because I remember waking up, I said, "Okay, Lord, I'm going to write." I started writing love letters to God.
Uh-huh.
I started writing Him love letters. First, I would we praise Him, but I'll tell Him how much I love Him, how much I feel about Him. Then I'll say, "Hey, so-and-so is bothering me, and I really need your help." And I say, "I know you read this, but I'm just going to write it so it gets off my head. So it's not like I have anything in my head, And I keep doing that, and I keep doing that. But I noticed that there's so much peace in doing it. There's so much peace. There were times things were hard. I would go into my bathroom. I would take showers like 10 times a day. Honestly, what I'm doing is like I'm crying. And I'm crying, and I'm looking, I say, "Lord, did you hear that? Did you see?" I'm like, I'm talking to Him. But I did that because I didn't want my kids to see me cry. I didn't want them to see me broken. Okay? So, but when it got to a point, I had to I became vulnerable to my kids. I said, "You guys, you know what? I'm not trying to make you guys feel sad, but I want us to be a team so we can pull through." So with the help of my faith and my kids, we kind of believed in each other more. It became strong, and it's like one step in front of the other, and we kept moving and kept moving. And yeah, here I am. When I started, it was 2, 4, 6. Now I have 16, 14, 12.
Congratulations.
Yes, and that's exactly how it
Congratulations on
works.
that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome story. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the fact that you realized at some point that you needed to include your children in this and open up to them so that you could work together. It's not a one-person show, and so many single parents or people who have been in your situation have
Yes.
tried to do it by themselves. And I'm speaking from experience of watching my mother try to do that. And that's such a much better approach.
Yes.
Bring your children into it.
Yes.
They must be amazing little girls. They must be amazing girls.
They are. I mean, I look at them right now and I say, man, I'm so proud of you guys.
Ah,
And my daughter told me yesterday, she said, look, mom, in my next world, I still want you to be my mom. I'm like, whoa, okay.
oh,
That's
how
sweet.
fabulous is that? How fabulous is that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. That is
Thank you.
truly beautiful. That is such a commendation.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
I,
We're going to have one of those conversations. I see you getting ready to go deep. Go ahead, Ida.
I'm just moved by, like
Mhm.
you, Ruth, when you bring your children in, because they know something is going on,
Yes.
no matter how much you try to hide it,
Yeah.
they know.
Yes.
And I like how you talked about making it a team effort,
Yes.
and that helps them to feel like they're making a difference.
That's true.
They're supporting the situation,
Yes.
and I think with that involvement, it helps them to be better people. And it lets them understand that this is a part of life.
Yes.
It's not a pretty part of life, but it's a part of life.
Yes.
Things happen, and then you have to find a way to move forward with
That's
it.
true.
Mhm.
That's true.
And that you gain
That's true.
strength. What
Yes,
they have seen is you go from someone who was, like you described it, as broken
Yes.
to someone who has not pulled herself together, but regained herself and
Yes.
has come back strong. And
Yes.
they see that it can be done. That's
Yes.
a powerful message
yes, it
to
is.
give to your daughters, because
Thank
they
you.
will say, well, this has happened. I can get through this, and
Yes.
I will be stronger because of it.
That's true. That's what
That
they.
is so just lovely. That's just a delicious piece. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
You
Wow.
know, I got to ask you too something that's I think is really important. You came to this country, you had no family here,
Yes.
and I am fortunate to know many people from Nigeria. And
Okay.
I know how important family and those family roots are. Um, that way that the family works together, not always seamlessly, but it's there.
Yes.
How did you overcome that,
It was
especially in
hard.
such a brutal situation?
It was really hard. And like in my family, I'm the only girl, so I have brothers. So I really don't understand women. So everybody I met, I claimed to be, that's my friend. That's my friend. I wanted family. I wanted to just turn them into family. But with the whole huddle, I got burnt by a lot of friends.
Mhm.
And so it got to a point I just had to, all I had was just God. All I had was just God. I just kept saying, I said, Lord, if I perish, I perish. But
Ah,
till then, you promised me. You said, I always could remind him of his word. I said, you say you will never leave me nor forsake me. You promised, right?
mhm.
Then I go back and I said, you said the world and its fullness is yours thereof, right? So do what you do best. And then when I get scared, I say, Lord, who is he that says it and it comes to pass when you have not commanded it not? So do it. I'm just gonna stay and just watch. And I remember calling one of my brothers one time and I were talking, I said, man, I was afraid of a situation. And he said, you're a lioness. I said, how? He said, look at you. You're there by yourself. You're a lioness. And then he brought me back to the story of a lion. He said, have you ever noticed how a lion sees what he wants? I said, yeah. He said, do you see how he walks with confidence to get what he wants? No matter how fast the animal is running, he goes and he's running with confidence. I said, yes. He said, that's what you are. Focus. Just maintain your speed. Don't compare yourself with anybody. Just keep going. You'll be okay. And that hope, that gives me confidence to just pull through too, you know. Another time I remember, I lived in California and I worked in a hospital. We hadn't gotten paid and there was no food in the house for me and my kids. I wasn't on any government assistance. I wasn't on nothing. I was so afraid. Like, if you sign up for that, they might take the... That was all he wired into my head, right? So I opened my pantry. We only had spaghetti, but there was no sauce to make that food for these kids. I said, okay, Mom. I said, Mom, you always have to figure out something. I saw barbecue sauce. I boiled the spaghetti. When I boiled it, I drained it. I got some oil. I put it in the pot, sliced some onion. I put the barbecue sauce in it, and I mixed it. And they were like, Mommy, what is this? I named it some Chinese food, trust me. I called it some Ching something. And they ate. They loved it. But I was afraid to eat because I thought it wasn't going to be enough for my kids. So I would drink water. I'll be like, this is enough for me. I won't die. I need them alive. I need them alive, you know? So 2 days after we got paid, and I made the real spaghetti with spaghetti sauce, with meatballs. They didn't like it.
I love it.
I was mad. I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? This is rich. They said, no, Mommy, that thing you made last time, that's it. Not this one. I couldn't understand. But it made me realize the power of God, you know, how he just comes in and takes over things, and you're like, okay, next.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of like you become more and more calm in different situations. It's like,
Yes.
okay, God, this is yours because I don't know what to do.
Right.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And then he steps right in. He
Right in.
causes things to become.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's such a sweet story.
That
I
is
love it.
sweet.
You know, because I can identify, my mother went through that, and I can remember her making Spanish omelets, what you would call Spanish omelets. It was omelets with some ketchup on it, eggs with ketchup. And she was so upset. I knew she was upset because she felt she hadn't fed us correctly.
Yeah.
And my sister and I were like, this is great. I can remember her making pancakes and being upset. It's like, this is not really food. This is not an appropriate meal for you. My sister and I were like, we can do this tomorrow too.
Right, right.
But you know the ingredient in that, Omon, if I may call you Omon.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is that it was love.
It was
Yes,
love.
it was.
That was the main ingredient of what you fed them.
Yes.
And you put your love into it. And that's what, yeah, the other spaghetti was wonderful, you know, it was store-bought and all that. But that barbecue spaghetti,
That was love.
that was love. And they could taste it. It's so different. I just really admire you. I admire you. And that story about the lion, being a lioness, with confidence.
Yes.
They pursue their goal.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to keep that up here and in
Yes.
here. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. This is fun already. I'm telling you, because, you know, we talk to people all the time, and every person's story makes all of us stronger,
Yes.
because we're all going through soft stuff. I heard a young lady say, you're either going in it, or
Mhm.
coming out.
Wow, that's it.
One of those three situations.
Yeah. If you're sitting on the sidelines looking on, guess
Yeah.
Right.
what? Someone's getting ready to kick you into the middle of the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your company and what that looks like.
So it's more from women empowerment, being through this hurdle and trials and tribulations in life. I begged God to give me grace so I can help the next woman because I remember one time getting in an elevator and there was this tall, blonde, white lady in it. She was so pretty, and I said, "Wow, you look so beautiful." And she started crying. And I thought I did something wrong. I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Nobody has ever told her that." And that broke me because it gave me that hint of you don't know what people, other women are going through in the four walls of their home. So to be either the only Jesus or the first Jesus they will meet, or just to carry that strength to be able to pass on to the next person and show her that, make her appreciate herself. Because in my journey, I didn't like to look at the mirror. I was so afraid. I hated myself at that point in time. But now, I love the mirror. I love the mirror.
Nice.
Look at me now.
Uh-huh.
So I know,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I know, and I have this gift of discernment that I can actually feel the pain of some people. And when I ask out, because I just don't go in. I say, "Lord, is this the right person you are leading me to talk to, or you want me to help? How do you just show me what you want me to do?" So when I'm talking to them and empowerment and all that, I love what I do, and with that, I decided to, build this group so I can really help more women because we are all connected one way or the other. We are all connected. In Africa, they say you have a child, they will talk. You don't have a child, they will talk. So you must as well just live your life, you know. So bringing kids, everybody together, and just coming in and just empowering each other. It's my dream, it's my goal, and it really helps me put my head on the pillow real well and know that, yes, I helped somebody tonight, and I just put a smile on their face, and I want to help the next person by the grace of God.
Absolutely. Wow. And isn't that what we're here for?
Yes.
Isn't that what we're here for?
Absolutely.
I mean, we are our brother's keeper.
Yes.
It's so true.
That's true.
And when I first heard that, I didn't understand it. Like a lot of things in the Bible, we don't understand until you get older and you really start to examine the words closely that you read in the Bible, because you could probably read that book 1,000 times.
Like a literature.
Yes, and still learn something
Absolutely.
different.
That's true.
Every once in a while, you read the same passage, you know you've read it 100 times, and then all of a sudden you'll stop and say, wait, stop.
Yes.
What's that?
Yeah.
I've missed it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, that's why they say to read the Bible daily.
Yes.
Read it daily. As often as you can, read it.
Yeah, because it's how we should be living.
That's true.
It's
The
how
manual for life.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is the manual for life, because, we can't do nothing by ourselves. We are a total mess. Tested and proven.
Yes. Yes. In our own personal lives, we can testify to that. And you can look around the world and you can testify.
Yes.
I was saying to a friend today that I was looking out. We had a really bad windstorm, or a really good windstorm, took all the leaves off the trees. But it was still so beautiful. And I was saying, everything is beautiful in God's world. Everything is perfect.
Yes.
Except us humans.
Yeah.
We're the mess. The animals are fine. The trees are fine. The mountains are fine. The grass is fine. Humans, not so much.
I
Not
think
so much.
because we want to be in control and we're not.
Exactly.
We are
And every
not
time
in control.
exactly. And we think we are, so we do what we want to do, and
Yes.
then we try to rule other people with our imperfect selves. We try to rule somebody else, and it just doesn't work. It's just not working. But
Yeah.
you
And
know,
for
it's like
me,
your conversations with people like you that just makes, I know Ida and I talk about it all the time. It just makes our days so joyful. But
oh,
I cut you off, so go ahead and say what you were going to say.
okay. I was just gonna say, we when you find yourself, you're able to con. I really don't want to use the word control, but at the same time, I will use it because now you control your space, what you call
Yes.
in. Right now, I am very mindful about who and where I'm at because my mom always used to say that you cannot mix a new wine with in an old wine. It wouldn't taste good. So when you declutter things, like even going back to my kid's dad, I had to forgive him. I had to forgive him. I wrote him a letter of forgiveness. I never gave it to him. Nobody taught me this, but the master would just write him a letter. And I wrote this letter. I cried. I told him how he made me feel everything. And after I wrote that, I burnt that letter. I called him up. I said, I forgive you. What we had, but you will always be their dad. And I will not take that from you. Okay? And at that point, I had some people tell me, oh, don't let him come to the house to see the kids. Meet him up at the gas station. Do this. And I was like, no. I met this man. There was once love. So now
Mhm.
it didn't work out, doesn't mean I will hate him.
Right.
Because in the eyes of God, he's still God's child.
Mhm.
His behavior wasn't good, but he will always be a good dad to his kids. It didn't work out for me and him. So that's aside. So I put myself aside and let him be dad. So
Mhm.
sometimes, like I have two girls and a boy, and my little boy tries to act up, I pick up the phone, talk to your son, and I hang up. And he goes and he talks to him. He calls him up and straighten things up. So with that, I am able to really be mindful of the things I want because I know my kids are watching. They are watching. I don't want, because I've met a couple of women who are really
Mhm.
bitter and angry, and it affects the kids. So I
Yes.
don't want that bitterness on me so I tell my kids, sometimes I might say, oh, your dad this, so, I catch myself, say, oh, never mind, it's okay. And I change what I'm about to say and let them know that, look, I want you to be able to reach out to him, talk to his daddy and mom, and that's it. Okay? I'm not gonna get into what you guys do. Until this day, I love chewing gum. I have a flavor of juicy fruity. So he will always buy that for me. Even when we no longer together, he will send that to me. And I think that's an honor. Like he still knows what I like. But
Oh,
it ends right there. I give him his respect, he gives me my respect, and that's it. So when I meet women who are really bitter, I walk through that forgiveness program with them. I say, you have to let go. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means that God is taking over this situation. And when you do that, watch God work for you. That's what I tell them. Watch God
Yes.
work for you. Because when you surrender, like, okay, I agree that I'm going to forgive him, then you forgive him for real. Like, not when you see him or hear his name and you get angry. Like, forgive him that you can sit down and have a conversation with no strings attached.
Mm.
And then you let God work for you. And with that, you are peace. Because now the kids like, okay, mom and dad, they're good, you know? And so that's how I just do it.
Right. And, and
And
oh,
and and at the end of
awesome.
the day, you're still mom and he's still dad.
Mhm.
yes,
because a lot of times with the breakup, sometimes kids think it's their fault.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
they think it's something they did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's two adult situations. It has nothing to do with them at
It's true.
all. And when the parents try to be civil to one another and the kids see that, it makes them feel so much more comfortable
Yeah.
with the situation.
Yes. That is
Yeah.
so true. My daughter always tells me, "Do you have to tell daddy everything?" I said, "Well, he's dad. If I don't tell him, who do I tell? Okay? I need him to help me discipline you. So tomorrow you become somebody. It wasn't just my strength. It took two of us, even in different states, to do it. Like, I moved from California a year and a half ago, and when we were moving, they were like, "Oh, so we're not going to see daddy again." I said, "Why not? You will always see your dad." But it was time because God has been telling me to move, and I kept fighting that move. I said, "No, I'm not gonna go." So He shut things down. I became like Jonah, Jonah in the Bible. I got swollen in the fish. That I could, nothing was going. Everything was shut down. So
Mhm.
when I agreed, I said, "Okay, Lord, I'm gonna move." The minute I said I was gonna move, I called my friend here. I said, "Jenny, I have to move." And she said, "You sure for real?" I said, "Yes." Everything started opening. She found school for the kids. She said, "Come stay with me." So we lived with her for a year and 4 months. While we were there, I was writing my book and published my book in June. And I named it The Imperfect Journey of a Single Mom. I told my story, and my friend was like, "How? When did you do this?" I said, "You have to let that baby out. There's been a lot in here that had to come out, and I'm finally letting things out." And then when it was time to publish, I was scared because I didn't want my son to feel it was his fault. Because about then, we had the whole marriage went down. I didn't want him to feel it was his fault. So one day he came to me and said, "Mommy, was I adopted?" I said, "No." He said, "Because my friends in school feel that you're too pretty to be my mom." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" It's not true. I said, "No, I'm your mom." So, but we went to his school and I met his friend. I said, "Look, that is my son. I am so proud of him. I gave birth to him. I told him how old, how much he weighed and all that." So they started believing in him because he was like telling them, "That's my mom." She wrote a book. They didn't believe him. Like, "No, no, no, no. She's too beautiful to be your mom." So, but I had to let him know that it wasn't his fault that things went down. It was just what it was supposed to be. But I am grateful to be your mom. I'm grateful you guys chose me as mom. And you still believe in me even when I don't have. You still trust me, you know? So, and with that, I see their confidence. Man, I look at them and say, "Wow, I've never met kids this confident." They're just like and he says affirmations because these are part of the things I did, because I told you I hated the mirror, so I put affirmations by the mirror like, "You're beautiful." I tell myself things that I want to hear, and so he tells himself that I'm a leader, I'm this, I'm that, and he feels all pumped. So I'm like, "Okay, I need you to help that with your friends. Teach your friends this." Because it will help us. So as the seed is being, shared amongst you all. So you have a little bit. You talk to your friends. Your friends and maybe their parents might be going through stuff, but just be there for them. Be that true friend they can talk to and tell their pain. Listen, do not judge, and then let them really trust you. So that's what we do in this house. We just
Right.
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness.
So what's the name of your book?
I just heard that.
The Imperfect Journey of a Single Mom.
Hey.
You have to email that to us so
Okay.
we can is it a where can people get the book?
It's on Amazon.
Okay. Because that's gonna help a lot of women.
Yes.
The Imperfect Journey of a Single Mom.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And you're also part of Finally Free. Is part of this part of Finally Free as well, or is that totally separate?
It's separate, but I have a chapter in Finally Free.
And what's the name of that chapter?
My chapter is whew, I was in between both. Um, when my pain through my pain, I found my purpose. So through my pain, I found that purpose because I didn't believe in me. I mean, it's a blessing to even talk to you guys right now. I didn't know I'll be here, but through that pain, I was able to really heal inside of me, because I believe in the power of prayers, okay?
Mhm.
But there's still work to be done inside. There's still healing to be done inside.
Mhm.
And if you are not somebody who's well nurtured, maybe growing up or all that, for me, we have a lot of this cultural stuff back home. So there was norms and things that were you can't do this, you can't do that, and you can't even question your parents when they tell you don't do stuff, you know. So
Mhm.
coming to America is a cultural shock for me. And now with what I know, wow. I talk to my brothers, tell them I'm able to like redirect certain things and help them, nurture their kids, especially girls, even boys, because we all need our parents inside of us. We need them. Even when they're gone, you always remember something, you know.
Yes.
Like sometimes, I dish a plate in Africa. We eat together. I don't know if you know, you have some Nigeria. We eat together. We have some traditional food,
Mhm.
and we eat with our hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so my kids, I make that food, and I put it in a bowl, and I ask us to all eat together. Initially, it wasn't easy, but now we can all sit down and eat together. So then I see some friends of mine or people from my culture too here. They don't want it. I'm like, oh no, no, I can't do that. I said, no, that togetherness, these kids will never forget it because I remember I was listening to them talking about me. My kids always gossip about me once in a while. So I heard them gossiping yesterday and they were like, oh, you remember so and so when mommy would put the food in this big bowl and we all eat and I grab the meat and, and they were laughing about it. That is something they would take to their own kids, and
Yes.
they would tell them. My kids have never been to Nigeria. They've never been to Africa. They've never traveled out of this country. But if you come around them, you would think they were born in Africa because of,
Oh, that's lovely.
I want them to know that family and that togetherness, like we are all we have. We are
Yeah.
all we have. So
Yes.
if I'm mad at one person, I'm mad at all of them because they will always want to protect themselves. And I see them like, I like that. But you guys are all against me. So,
That's beautiful.
Yes. Yes,
Now,
it is.
let me ask you, what part of Nigeria are you from? Are you Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba?
I'm I'm mixed. My mom is Igbo, my dad is Edo.
Oh, Edo.
Edo is the south, and my mom is the eastern part of Nigeria. So she crossed boundaries to go get married into a different culture.
Yes, she
So
did.
there's a real strong culture on my daddy's side,
Oh,
and we have the traditional, like the female circumcision stuff and all that. On that, yeah, although it happens on both sides of the culture, but it was more pronounced on that side. So all that was
wow.
fear.
My goodness. We're only hearing the tip of the iceberg of the very tip of your story, because there is so much more there, but it's such a rich story. And
Thank
it's just rich. It's so rich. You were talking about African food. It's like efo and jollof rice and all those good things
I
together.
made jollof rice today.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay. I'm coming to dinner. I'll be there tomorrow for lunch. But yeah, I love that thought of everybody coming together and eating. And I
Yeah,
know I had some friends who taught me how to eat with my hands. And at first it was like, oh, I can't do that.
it is
I must
good.
die. But then, I used to see my grandmother eat with her hands.
Okay.
And it was interesting. It was like, oh, so grandma wasn't all wrong. you know? She does it all wrong. And there's a different feeling when you come together as a community and you eat in the house, and it's just a different feeling. It's such a lovely feeling. And in this country, we lost that. I guess after World War II and the 60s, people started not being at home for dinner. You know, they didn't eat anymore. So that is a juicy piece, literally, that I hope our listeners also get.
Yeah.
That they start thinking, well, you know, I got to meet at least one night, one day a week. Must sit down as a family and eat.
That's true.
No phones, no anything, just us.
Yeah, my home, we do that. I definitely make sure
Mm-hmm.
that we have at least, now because of the pandemic, we have several meals together. So it's the pandemic kind of working out on that note.
And I'm sure for some people that it is working out. And I'm sure for some people it was really strange. It was really hard to get everybody to the table at one time because it was highly unusual. They've been strangers for so long.
Yes.
Everybody going in their different directions. So you're right. The pandemic has brought that piece home.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I think the
all
pandemic
night. There's so much I would love to ask you and hear from you.
We're definitely going to have to do this again, for sure. So how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Okay, they can get in touch with me on Facebook. I actually have a Facebook group page. It's called Blessed Billionaire Babe Academy.
Okay.
There, they can reach me there. Or they can inbox me on Facebook. Look up Princess Omon Uanreroro. It's there. Also on Instagram, it's blessed _ billionaire _ babe. And on IG, yes.
And getting the book.
It's on Amazon. It's called The Imperfect Journey of a Single Mom. Yeah.
Okay.
Amazon, yes.
Let me ask you, why did you name your company Blessed Billionaire Babe?
So the billionaire, for me, it's the wisdom, the richness, the royalty from God, the wisdom. Because money can buy you that. When you're wise, you know what to do. You know how to, you discern, you know how to handle situations, not rushing into it, but calmly and asking, Lord, what is the next right move? So that gave me confidence to go ahead with it, because I know how, with the story of the lion, when you come out and you talk with people, the confidence in you too, they see the richness in it, and then they really want to have a quality conversation. I always look for quality conversation. I'm not ready for just every conversation. I love real good conversation, and you own to what you're saying and believing in yourself. I love that. And I won't take all this glory. I also give it to Mary Kay. Mary Kay also helped me with that empowerment, because they teach us how to believe that everybody's wearing a sign that says, make me feel important. So with that being said, when you meet somebody, you just acknowledge who they are and praise, like, oh my God, you look good, or just with something.
So how did you get involved with Mary Kay? What took you there?
So when I signed up from Mary Kay in Colorado, then got married, moved to California. He didn't want me to do nothing, so I was a stay-home mom. So when we separated, I had to find a job. I had to, put a roof over our head for me and the kids. So I found a childcare, and she said, you will pay me $720 every week for the 3 kids. So with the Mary Kay, I had to do something. I had to sell. So the hospital where I worked at in California, Valley Care, I was selling a lot, doing a lot of facials. So when I get off work, I do facials, take care of my customers. So with that, I was able to pay childcare. But 2016, I remember August 28th, I quit my job at the hospital. That day, I went to work and somebody said something to me and she said, do you think coming to work here is just you're looking all pumped and happy? So I knew it was time that I had outgrown that place.
Mm-hmm.
So that day at the end of my shift, I wrote a letter to like mass letter to everybody. I said, thank you guys. I appreciate working here, but it's time to move on. And I remember walking out of the office, of the building. It was like Beyonce on a runway. I felt so good. no, no savings, nothing. And I was just walking. I was walking. I got to my car. I said, yes, yes. I got home. I was like, okay, what did I just do?
Yes. Yeah.
I was scared. I was so scared. So I'm like, oh, it's okay. So normally I always wake up at 4:30 every morning. And I woke up the usual 4:30, panicked, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay all these bills? How am I going to do this? Kano, this. And I just said, be still. Be still. And I said, okay, Lord. I started crying. I don't know. I calmed down. And he said, okay, what can you do? I said, I love my Mary Kay. He said, go do Mary Kay. So now my son was always complaining then because I did a day shift. So I would wake up 4:30, leave them, and the childcare would come pick them from home to school. So he was always angry that he didn't have a good breakfast. So I said, now I can make you pancakes every morning. So now I started making pancakes, and I'll drop them off in school, pick up my Mary Kay stuff. I'll go meet people, do facial, come back, pick them up from school. So we had each other doing that. So with that, God was expanding ways. It was like, like those two fishes and
Yeah.
it was just multiplying. It was just multiplying. I was like, okay, Lord, this is too much. But I'm like, who am I to say it's too much? Lord, thank you. No, it's not too much. I appreciate it. So I was
Right. Let me take that back.
Yeah.
So I just kept doing that and, taking care of kids. And so it was like the kids, our mommy would be there to pick us up and all that. And when I go to their school, I was getting all this. Oh, I want so-and-so. Oh, can you give me so-and-so Mary Kay? So it was like, the prayer of Jabez, enlarging my coast and border. It was just like that. I'm like, so this is what it is to truly, anchor and just give God everything and not be afraid of anything at all. So that was it. And that's how I did my Mary Kay, and I loved it. I still love it.
Wow. Wow. That's a good
My
story.
goodness.
That's a really good story because you just walked off the job, you done, and like that was like a bold move, a really bold.
Seriously bold.
It was.
And then you wake up panicked. What did I do? What was I thinking?
Right.
But you know what? So many of our guests have said that. They have done similar things. All of a sudden, they've just made up their mind. It was like, enough is enough. This is not working for me. I'm gone. And then they get like, they wake up in the middle of the night going, what did I do? But that's when almost you give God a chance to finally step in.
That's true.
And move you towards your purpose.
That's true.
What he originally intended for you to do. And that's something I find that more and more in our conversations that we have, that many of us, and I speak for myself, I'm in on this one, we tend to block all our life. We block what it is that God wants us to do because we're busy doing pretty much what we're told to do, what we've been groomed to think we're supposed to do.
Yep.
And we don't realize that we came here with a purpose.
That's it.
And it's not our purpose, it's God's purpose.
Absolutely.
That's so true.
And once we get that, it's like, wow.
Oh yeah, move out the way and let go.
There you go. And it's, I can so appreciate, I know there are many people who are going to listen to this and watch it, hopefully, and will say, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there. And if she can be a lioness, I can be a lioness too.
Yes.
That image,
Yes.
Omon, is going to be with me for forever.
Oh,
Because I can see that beautiful lioness. I have to feed my children.
Yes.
yes.
Purpose.
That's my goal.
Yes.
No one's going to stop me.
Nobody, no.
It's just an awesome.
Yes, it is. We are
That's awesome.
so blessed and highly favored
Yes.
that you are here this day.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you.
And the strength that you have given us as well as our audience.
Yes.
Because you just don't know who needed this right now. You just don't know.
Yes.
So we thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Air hugs.
Yes, exactly. So before we wrap up, again, how can people get in touch with you and get involved with some of the things that you're doing?
Okay. They can get involved or get in touch with me on Facebook. I'm at Blessed Billionaire Babe Academy. They can join my group. It's free. I'm also on Instagram, blessed_billionaire_babe. And then they can also get my book, The Imperfect Journey of a Single Mom. It's on Amazon. Yes, it's on Amazon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all we can say is thank you. I mean, this has been a blessing.
Yeah.
And, God is always present.
Mm-hmm.
Always present.
Always.
For sure. So thank you. Much love. And we will definitely be having you back.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. My honor, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Good.
Your business, through Just Minding My Business Media, has exposure on internet radio, major social media platforms, and now TV. Through Just Minding My Business, dynamic digital marketing platform. Don't listen to the word on the street. Hear it for yourself. Visit jmb.assistercircle.org to learn how you can take your business, your vision, to the next level. Thank you to the amazing women of A Sister Circle Empowerment Network, ASCEN LLC, and our media partners. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks, for when you want to be heard. Call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.